just wanna be your disco bitch. Touch my body. Let my body.
Check.
Let my body rock.
Makeup.
Let my body rock.
I mean, all right. You know what I'm saying? So take a look. Hold on.
Keep sweating when you're on top. Report.
You small, I hate small people ever since I got chased from Murphy's Bar. You crumb.
Shake it slow. Got the high heel shoes with the
Michael Pinheiro Incorporated. That's right. Really?
Watch my body rock.
Unless you're sitting next to me, you'll always be winning. Duh, winning.
feel you breathe. Let your body rock is what you said to me.
Let my body rock. Let my body rock. Watch my body rock.
Let it rock.
1-6-1. Really? You know what? Halloween, I love it, but it's finally over. It's time to take off the masks. But you really got to talk about it. Halloween, great time of the year where people dress up in things they wish they could be. Like the Miami Dolphins dressing up as an NFL football team. The Indianapolis Colts dressing up like a football team. But better yet, Chris Johnson dressing up as a Tennessee first-round running back. You piece of crap. You're going to see the bench along with other stars. We got so much to talk about this week, and I'm more angry than I've ever been. Cut this whole damn program. All right, welcome everybody to the Week 9. Is it Week 9?
I think so.
I guess. Week 9, King of Kings Shotgun Sit Down. I'm your host, the always handsome Big Kev, with my new guy of the week. I told you guys I was searching for a partner, a new co-host. But this week, my special, studio guest who's gonna, do the show with me this week is, the Disciples' owner and management, Steve Tabikas. What's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Nice to be here, buddy.
Nice to be here. Hopefully you can, take this and make a job out of it because my punk ass co-host DJ Mikey P was scared to show up on set this week because cats and kittens. I had a lot to say to him and he went home. He took his ball and he went home. But we will get him next week when he's on the show. But he's suffering from I guess the flu-like symptoms. So he
Well, I heard.
benched him.
Well, he lost his voice.
Really?
Well,
I heard he lost. And he was so ashamed of it that he just didn't want to show up today.
It was from cheering for DeMarco Murray. He was in his tutu cheering for.
You know what? Hey, we're gonna get into DeMarco, and I refuse to say his second name. He's not worthy. But we're gonna get into that, and let's go right into it, man. What an interesting week! What an interesting week!
Yes, it was.
I mean, once again, the Young Nationals division just manhandled the best of the best. Everyone won except me. I didn't go. I didn't get the job done, but everybody else did it. I mean, it's so upside down. The 9 weeks in, and the best of the best. There's no such thing as first and last right now because everybody has a shot at that.
Every single person.
But in our division, it's a little more complicated. We're going to get into that. But let's get right into the matchups, man. We had the Apocalypse Death Lords
Against
visiting
the big bad bus.
the Big Bad Dirty Bus.
Yes, sir.
With the bus taking it 165 to 136. What did you see in that game? Who surprised you? What's your words?
Who surprised me was Cowboys in general getting spanked by Philly. That hurt.
Really embarrassing.
Yeah, real embarrassing. And the big bad bus, his defense put up retarded scores.
He did. And what's more strange is the Des Bryant of the Dallas Cowboys. I think he put up 2 points for him. Basically, He did it with not even 9 players. He did it with like 6 or 7 players. And very shocking. But, I mean, you got to look at the Bengals. 28 points to the Bengals. I mean, very impressive. And Roethlisberger, who has a horrendous record against the New England Patriots. And I kind of jinxed New England last week.
Just a little bit.
When I went to go say that Tom Brady had one loss in the history of his career against him. Looks like it bit them in the ass. But speaking of that, what do you think about the matchup? I mean, in my opinion, the Death Lords lost that game because they wanted to. And I said it last week on a show when he takes... Now, you put a lot of money into DeMarco, okay? I mean, in the 50s and 60s. And, buddy, what did we talk about earlier? We hope you got your receipt. Because, actually... There's no refund policy. So I guess yeah, that's right. So you know what? You took an unproven guy with multiple knee surgeries, and you put him in your lineup and benched a veteran, Steven Jackson, with I think 34 or 38 points. Enough that would have gave him the win this week by himself.
He still would have fell 3 points short. Romo wasn't up to par.
He wouldn't have fell 3 points short of the win. With Steven Jackson in the lineup?
And that was the game of his career. He never once hit 30 some odd points for fantasy. That was the first time for the whole season. That was a record high for him. So,
well,
I don't know. It could go both ways there, buddy.
If you look at it, 136 to 165, Steven Jackson put up, I think, 38 or 36, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you just throw him 30 points, he's already in the lead 166 to 165. So, it was enough to beat him. But anyway...
Well, you still got to minus Murray's 8.
Well, devastating 8 points. But anyways, you know what? We're not going to let this go.
9 carries, though, right? Kid did all right.
9 carries. Well, you know what? Probably could have had a better game, but I bet him last week, and I told him he would not rush for 100 yards, and he said, oh, I'll take that bet. And you know what? He did it against a defense that's not even in the top 10. But you know what? He sat here last week, my co-host DJ Lanky P, and he stated here that the legend coach, deserved to lose 2 weeks ago in his matchup, saying that it was bad management because he had 2 people from the same team. Well, you know what? That was bad management of what he did this week of Steven Jackson. But guess what? After all that I've said, guess who's in his lineup this week? Steven Jackson. So I rest my case. You never, ever bench a guy that has been producing. Unless, we're going to get into Chris Johnson a little bit later on the show. But big win for the Bus. Kept him fighting. He's fighting for first place.
He's pretty well stacked, yeah.
I mean, these guys are getting healthy. And he looks dangerous. And remember, last year the Bus played.
He was dangerous last year.
Last year the Bus played in the Young Nationals championship game to go on to the league championship game, and he tied. You know what I'm saying? He lost in a tie against your world champ. So he's right back in there. So going on, the Brazilian All-Stars
against the champs.
Co-host, the Brazilian All-Stars. Really?
Well,
beat me 2 times in one season? Really?
With his quarterback starting off at -3.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I have Chris Johnson. You know, boys and girls, Chris Johnson against the Indianapolis Colts. The given Indianapolis Colts, who gives 160, 170 yards a game in rushing. And you're telling me this guy went in there and rushed for 14 yards? A #1 first-round pick in 98% of fantasy football. On top of that, just got millions of dollars. And this kid rushed for 14 yards, and he says it's not his fault that he can't rush the ball, blaming it on his offensive line. Does that sound like a great player?
To me, it sounds like a damn baby. Because he ain't producing. And Bo also did you dirty.
Bo, you know what? He did, but I can't attack him for no reason. I mean, he's, you know, one bad game, but he's been producing.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't get it. I have the best team out there. They're not producing. There's nothing more I can do as an owner.
You were pinned up against the wall because both of your wide receivers were being thrown to you by the Brazilian All-Stars quarterback.
Exactly. And it was a perfect opportunity for Dwayne Bowe, who picks up 20, 30 points in a game. At one point, in a second quarter, Phillip Rivers was -3
Yes, he
points.
was.
-3 points. And you're telling me I had a perfect opportunity. I had 3, actually 4, but 3 all-pro players. Vincent Jackson, Dwayne Bowe, and Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates, a future Hall of Famer. And these 2 kids probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame. And I couldn't get 30 points.
I have 3 players.
But you know something? Vincent Jackson was... What can you say? I mean, I didn't even compete. Like, you know, it wasn't even a loss. It was a giveaway. I mean, I got 1 win on the season. 1 win on the season. But you know what? It speaks for itself. I got 6 losses. I ain't hiding it. You know what I'm saying? It looks like to me we're going to have, for the first time ever, a second world champion. Going on, what did we talk about Nuno earlier? He has a chance.
He has a chance to be the new champ.
You know? But you got to give it to Gary, I guess. He pulled the win, 147 to 122. And the world champs, they're not competing. They're not performing. So you know what? I guess I deserve to be where I am. I mean, that's the bottom line. But going on, the coach. Tough loss for the coach, man. The coach against the North Dominant Disciples, the man to my right. Beating them 134 to 118. The coach and the world champs together are struggling. If you told me 8 weeks ago at the draft, hey coach, you and the world champs are going to be last.
1-6-1.
In last place, halfway of the season, we would have looked at you and laughed in your face. Because between us, we got 7 world championships.
There's a lot of experience there.
So, I don't know. Same issue with him. Now he's got devastating injuries. You know, taking nothing away. You know, Tom Brady, you're very fortunate, I think, to even pick up that win against a good team with Tom Brady on a severe, very noticeable decline. And nobody knows where it's coming from. I mean, since the Jets game, he's been just staggering. What is going on in that offense? But yet, you picked up the win. You don't see Tom Brady usually with 30 points. That's a bad game for him.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Like, the margin, to me, should have been greater.
It's right.
Gaffney didn't do nothing. Marshall didn't do nothing. Brady saw 9 minutes of the field.
Yep.
So, and me taking advantage of the coach's quarterback being out, that should have been more of a blow.
Yeah, exactly. And what you just said, Pittsburgh did a great job of
manhandling the Pats.
They great game plan going into that, and they know put pressure on Brady, and cause there's no running game in New England. I mean, once every great week, you know what I'm saying?
But Brady's the type of quarterback that pressure still looks in slow motion to him, and he finds his targets.
But you know
he
what?
did not look like Brady.
They still had a chance to win that game, and Brady fumbled it. You know what I'm saying? He fumbled it. But going on, even Schaub putting up a decent amount of points, 28 for the coach. But Beanie Wells is still hurt, even though he tried to get in there. Beanie Wells, what's killing the coach, but yet he can still end up at first place because the standings are just unbelievable in the best of the best division. Nobody's got more than 4 wins. But Andre Johnson, considered the best receiver in the league. Andre Johnson. Now going on a 5 games. 5 games he's missed for the coach. Dude, that's like me not having Peyton Manning. You know? Take that away. If the coach can continue to put up some wins for Andre Johnson to come back, then it's going to be dangerous for other people. But he's losing. Andre Johnson is still on the shelf. Now they're talking about where it could be after Thanksgiving that he could miss a total of up to a month. When it was said he was going to miss 2 weeks. So that is definitely a blow for him. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think the coach is gonna?
I don't think you should sleep on the coach just yet.
Me neither.
Not only does he know his football stats, you know what I mean? I think he's gonna make some clever pickups. He knows what he's doing. I don't think you should sleep on him just yet. 2-5 is not far off from the top and the best of the best. So I think they still have to worry about the coach.
It's not, and you know, you got the Disciples, 6-2. But you know what? The first thing I want to bring up, one of my co-hosts last week, DJ Mikey P, said I was attacking you. You know, we had you live. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to get in the word with Mike today. You know what I'm saying? But I'm debating. I don't even want to hear from him. You know, I got a match coming up against him this week, and you know, I don't even want to hear from him.
Is this about my downward spiral?
About your downward spiral. But you know what? I said, can the Disciples stop the second half of the season? They went 1-6. Boom. You came out of the door with a win. Now I was paying attention, and I looked at that. You came out, picked up a win, first half of the season. You know what? You went 1-6. So you picked up your first win. There's still those 6 games to go. But it's looking good. Awesome record, 6-2. Well beyond 500. I'm very impressed. And I think, you know, you're going to be one of the 3 teams representing the Young Nationals division. But, you know.
Well, like I said last week, you know, I find it a lot more experience, you know what I'm saying, as far as how to manage. Anyway, you know, I didn't even look at my team last year. It was what it was, and it stood. But this year, I'll bench whoever gives me 2 weeks in a row that's shitty. I don't care who he is, Kev. You know what I'm saying?
It's coming down to that. Just based on your name status, it ain't cutting anymore.
No.
You know?
You can find the sleeper that's ranked 25th.
Exactly.
You know? And everybody's focusing on the top of the list.
But, I mean, interesting, good matchup. We're going on to the last matchup of the week. The Little Coach taking on Short Circuit, losing it, 155-164, with the Circuit picking up their 7th win of the season. But you know what?
The little man was going to pick that up.
I'm going to let you speak on that. But you want to know something? I have a lot to say about that game and why the Short Circuit should be 6-2 right now. But what did you think about the game?
Well, it came down to Monday night. Like another matchup came down to Monday night, and that's what did the Little Coach in. But Nuno, I don't know where this kid's getting. It is his logo. It's the Lucky Charms logo, guy.
Yeah, which I created. But yeah, I mean, the little people, do you believe in magic? Because the little people do. And like I said, I never mess with a midget. And he's doing his thing. But let me tell you something, Nuno. You punk talking crap to me on a smackboard. Let me tell you something. The only reason you won that game, he should have lost. As you noticed, the Little Coach, 155-164. 155 he had in a third quarter. Would have definitely put up 164. Ryan Matthews, his starting running back, was taken out of the game.
Plenty of football to get them 10 points.
He was done. He was going to 6-2. The Little Coach with a big upset. Boom, he loses his starter. So guess what? His kicker was the only one doing work for him. You know what I'm saying? And even then, he almost
came
did it.
close.
But he deserved to win.
Yes,
but once again, half the wins in this league are due to injury.
I said it when I saw those numbers climbing. I said, the little man's going to take Nuno out.
He did. And I mean, look at it. Matthew Stafford, 42 points. Unbelievable that he put up. But of course, you know, the Short Circuit, again with Ray Rice, 34 points. Ray Rice, after the 8-point game that he put up, which was embarrassing, he's doing it. But the worst thing is, there's so many guys in his roster that are not even top 10. Come on, Nuno, you know it and I know it. But yet he's picking up points with Macklin.
Yeah.
And I can't pick up points with Vincent Jackson. So, you know what? It's all in the moment, man. It's just, let me tell you something. Bullshit has a lot to do with winning. You know what I mean? But you know what? I'm not putting this team down. You're in first place, brother. You know what I'm saying? You've never won first place ever in your life. Never won it in the league. So it's time to start talking crap. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the bus, you got the disciples, and trust me, you got the champs knocking on your back door. And do I believe you can hold on and just run away with this division? No, I do not. And but you know what? He's doing it right now. He's in first place. But you know, let's go into it. Who's upset in this? Who is the worst right now? Let's go into players. Who is the biggest disappointment, man, going into this second half of the season?
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson. You know, I'll agree with you. There's still a lot, but Chris Johnson, you know, here's a guy, he's a first round pick, like I said, 99% of the league. He's the first pick off the boards. But you know what? Just based on your name, that's got to end. It's got to end already. But you know what? I'm up against the Colts, the worst defense in the league. You know? That was supposed to be the game that he came out. This is his coming out game. He didn't do it. So you know what? There's something seriously wrong. And I don't know if it's an injury that they're not explaining, but a guy who rushed for 2,000 yards, the guy who's been the leading rusher.
He's being too careful.
And also avoiding hits.
Yeah,
I noticed that
being
game.
too careful.
He was avoiding hits, which is that's when you get injuries right there when you try to avoid them. But there's something going on that Tennessee's not telling us.
I think he's avoiding something that's wrong that he doesn't want to escalate to a career-ending injury.
And you know what? It happens with all
How's
these players.
a running back that's supposed to be a bull avoiding hits? He's being careful.
But here's the thing, Steve. This guy would run through people. He got that $100-something million contract with his $30 million up front, and all of a sudden, you know what it is? He's protecting himself. He got the money, and he wants to make sure he sees the rest of that money. So, whoa, you know how the NFL is. You know, you get an injury, there's no promise in tomorrow. So this guy is being a punk. This guy is being a punk.
He's pushing his luck.
Exactly. He's playing for his money. Screw the stats. I already did it. I was looking for the big payday, and now I got it.
Football ain't guaranteed.
No.
This ain't the other sports.
But you know something? This guy, you got a rookie playing better than you right now, the same amount of carries, Ringer, and he played better than you. But let me tell you something. Chris Johnson, he's just like, if I would have benched him against the Colts, the same way you can't bench Tom Brady, you can't bench Andre Johnson, you just can't bench guys of that status. You can't bench Drew Brees. But you know something? I would have benched him, and he came out with a 50-point game. I would have looked like the dumbest manager ever. Didn't know nothing, right? But because I went on a name basis.
Yep.
And I had a guy on a bench of Bradshaw who went in there and has been doing his job since the first week of the season. He played better than him. And that contributed to my loss. I played Chris Johnson because his name was Chris Johnson. But you know what? He's on the bench. But say this week, playing another not-so-good defense. He has a big game. It's like you can't win. He has a big game. Oh, what are you doing with Chris Johnson? You deserve to lose. Chris Johnson's on your bench.
But he's always been projected high.
Exactly. But you know what? You have to start going for who's producing and screw the name status. You know what I'm saying? But you look at it. Vincent Jackson, another one. A 6'5" receiver, bigger than half defensive backs in the league. You're telling me this guy in the last 3 games has 3 catches? Come on. Dwayne Bowe, another one struggling. But Marcus Colston. Marcus Colston from the Saints. He didn't even have a catch until third, fourth quarter. And him too ended up with 2 or 3 catches. These guys are unstoppable players. And there's been huge disappointments in the league. Andre Johnson, another one we were talking about earlier. He doesn't disappoint on the field. When he's in there, you get your points each and every week. But the guy has been injured each and every year. He always gets an injury. He like Marcus Colston. Them two, it's a minor surgery every single year. But there's a lot of guys that
one
do
player can make an impact on a fantasy team.
Yeah.
Now imagine that one player in the NFL. Look what happened to the Colts when Manning was gone.
Embarrassing, really. You know, as I know, you don't lose. A football team is not like a basketball. Michael Jordan could control a game by himself. Football is a very different sport, and you know, you look at it. Somebody gets hurt, you insert somebody else. Tom Brady got hurt. Belichick inserted Matt Castle, who won himself a starting job in Kansas City. So one player doesn't make a huge difference. But for what you're seeing with the Colts, it doesn't. Now people are looking at it, oh my God, Peyton Manning's a god. No. Peyton Manning, it's making Peyton Manning.
At the end of the day, we're trying to say they're all pros.
At the end of the day, it's looking that they're just a horrible team. Okay? It's not that you're missing Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning don't play on defense. Peyton Manning is not letting up 50 points. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with Peyton Manning. Okay? The same way the Patriots, they had a winning record with Castle when Brady broke his leg. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they have a great coach. Okay? And they have a good staff. And they said, no, he's out. We don't care. We're still going to win games. Indianapolis, they folded up their season when it was announced that he probably missed the rest of the season. It's an embarrassment to every NFL team out there.
Well, you know what's going to happen. They're going to remodel the whole management division over there.
Oh, yeah. I think the coach should be fired because you want to know something? A good coach, a great coach, like Belichick, who lost Tom Brady, was not given a chance, and ended, I think, with 11-5 record. I'm not sure. I think it was 11-5. With an unknown Matt Castle, never threw a ball in the NFL. You know, that's a great staff. A coach is based like a Phil Jackson. I don't care that Phil Jackson has 10 rings. I want to see, you know, when he goes to a team that has Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, goes to a team that has Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. It's easy championships. A great coach should be judged on when he goes to a team that doesn't have Michael Jordan and win a championship. The same way with Belichick has done it. Now, Indianapolis, that's when you see what you're all about.
Yeah.
And they're not showing. There's going to be some firing going on there.
Belichick started with Bledsoe and Brady.
Yep.
And Castle got his start.
Exactly.
So,
And just like Bledsoe, could be a Hall of Famer. And didn't matter. Tom Brady came in, he played good, he lost his job. So Chris Johnson, if you think just because you got that money, but you know what, the shame is half of these players, they don't love the game, they don't care about the fans. The only reason you got $30 million in your pocket is because of everybody, the fans. The fans is the reason he had that money they're fighting for, is the money that we give, okay?
yeah, take away merchandise.
That's all he cares.
That's what your ultimate goal is.
Before we
more jewelry.
And speaking of that, Brandon Jacobs. Brandon Jacobs, you are a punk. That's what you are, a punk. Now this guy, for those who don't know, Bradshaw, he's the man in New York. Okay, Jacobs has been doing nothing. He sucks. He will be gone by the end of the season. If not, he's a free agent. They're not going to sign him. He came back from injury. He played in the game, non-factor. Non-factor, just horrendous. They interview him today. What do you think of, Bradshaw? It's not him. Bradshaw took his job. You know what I'm saying? He's playing better. He's got more heart. He wants it more. And they said, what do you think? A lackluster game. You haven't done much. You haven't done nothing. You know what his quote was?
What was that?
Well, I got a lot of money and I got a big, fast car getting delivered to me Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Really? So, you didn't talk about the game. You didn't talk about the players.
That was a quote.
You just went, that was his quote. Basically saying, hey assholes, I don't care. I got, during these troubling times for America and every family struggling to pay a bill, and this jackass is only references, I got a big fast car getting delivered to me next week. That's all, stating that, hey, go ahead and make fun of me that I'm not playing, but I'm still richer than you.
Yeah.
Basically hiding behind, same thing with LeBron James. When he lost and they asked him, hey, what's your comments for everybody who's so happy that you lost? Well, they got to go back to their miserable lives, and I still get to live my life, So enjoy it. So
But
these
those
players,
miserable lives is what got you the fast car.
exactly.
All right?
For you to do that,
There's no heart.
Spitting-
Bench that cocksucker.
spitting in fans' faces,
Yep. He's a piece of shit.
that really pissed me off. I saw that today, and he's worthless. If a comment like that,
That's an arrogant
the
quote.
New York Giants organization, if you cared about your fans, I would have fired his ass today for saying a comment like that. Because you know what? If those fans were smart, the next game at Giant Stadium would be empty. Then you see what would have happened. Remember, the fans are the only reason these guys are getting paid. The same thing with the NBA. We're a fantasy show, but we're sports in general. But the NBA, they're fighting for billions of dollars. But those billions of dollars are billions of dollars that they make, and these guys are fighting for it while people are starving on the street. It makes me sick. We went through it with the NFL this offseason. You know, I'm just tired of these players. I'm tired of these players.
You know, half would show up to the stadium to see the 12-year-old Eli. You know, throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? But I understand your point, man. They should boycott them bitches.
They should.
And not even give them another dollar.
Same thing. You look at baseball.
Because they look at you like, they're just there to scream for me.
Well, they're sitting there. We want to play for the fans. We want to come back. You know, we love the fans. You know shit. You're fighting for billions of dollars. Same thing with baseball. There's a little hint for the NBA who's going through it right now. All right? Baseball had no season in '94. Guess what? It took 2 years to fill up stadiums. Tickets dropped to $5. They were begging people to come to watch the game because those fans at that time, that was a slap in the face. We're paying you guys, and you guys can't even get along for billions of dollars. I mean, really?
Like the NHL?
Every sport.
It almost took hockey out of the major sports that are listed, like the top 4. You know what I'm saying?
And hockey still hasn't recovered.
And still hasn't recovered.
Still hasn't recovered. The same way with the show here, you know? I had some debating, you know? I wanted my contract. The show's been taken off. You know, we got the whole production. We got the Kevtron 5000 ERBCC. And, I mean, look at it. I mean, what a great
7D.
It's 7D. I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even buy this at Walmart. This is the NFL don't have this, you know? So we're making money.
That means all the people with not 4 heads, 5 heads, 6 heads, big heads,
exactly.
can still watch the show.
You know?
You know what I'm saying?
And here we are doing the show. You know, I got my big contract. My partner, DJ Mikey P, was upset about it. And if you notice, you really want to get, they want to come out the truth. The fans want to know. DJ Mikey P is in dispute with the production team, okay? He's looking for more money, okay, when he's Robin and I'm Batman. But he's looking for more money, and he set up. He took his ball and went home. He doesn't have laryngitis, okay? So you know what? Another guy came in here. He hit for the love of the game, and he's here. So, you know, I don't even know if DJ Mikey P's coming back next week.
Would have beat up Dodge.
Would it be? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
You know what?
That's a gas guzzler.
And so we don't know if we see the last of DJ Mikey P.
I don't know.
It's a mystery to me. Well, as you can see, I'm here with DJ Mikey P. 5 lost DJ Mikey P. But anyways, so what do you think about your upcoming matchup with the team that spanks you each and every year? I'll hold the mic. Don't touch the mic.
Mic check. Honestly, I think considering like
Well,
a
like
bye
I
week,
was saying,
like a bye week.
You know, you don't seem to be like, answering the questions. I know you're gonna lose, but what do you think? What do you think of your record? Do you think you have a shot at winning first place in your league? But it looks like you have no comment to say. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you.
Reverse that.
No,
No, we're gonna do it.
no, brother love. So what we got next over there?
We got Cleveland at Houston.
Cleveland at Houston. Are you kidding me? Houston Texans are going to demolish them. If Andre Johnson comes back this week, I don't care if he's coming back from injury, you got to play him. Schaub, play him. Bench, Peyton Hillis. I don't think he's going to do nothing. It's going to take a while for him to get back on track. Looks like the Madden curse continues. But I say play everybody from Houston.
New Orleans is getting 8. So, okay.
Wait a minute. You just said Houston.
I mean, my bad. Edit that out because we skipped around. All right. Tell the editor after that. Yeah, Steve. Anyway, I'll use that as an.
Hurry up, motherfucker!
All right, man.
We're gonna record over something else.
All right. Where were we? Houston, Cleveland. What's next, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee is gonna visit Cincinnati.
Cincinnati is gonna win that one hands down. Bench Chris Johnson. Next.
Oakland visits Denver.
Oakland, big game. They're going to win it. Denver, don't even think about playing. You know what? Tim Tebow, I feel bad for the kid. Bench him. Oakland, start Carson Palmer. TJ, who's your mama, is back. He might even play this week. If he does, start him. Start Oakland. McFadden might be out, might be in. Start him. Period. Start the running game in Oakland. Oakland takes it. Go ahead and bench everybody down the other way.
Now we got New England visiting the youngster Eli Manning.
Eli Manning, New York Giants. I feel bad for you. Belichick and Tom Brady after a loss. They're very, very scary.
Not cool.
Stop Tom Brady. Stop Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Stop the whole Patriots organization. Stop Robert Kraft. Start them because they're going to do it. Bench Eli Manning. I don't like Eli Manning this week.
They're so pissed that Kraft will put on the helmet. Man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Bench Eli Manning. Start Ahmad Bradshaw. I think he's going to have a big week, but Patriots take it.
All right. Arizona travels to St. Louis.
St. Louis, incredible. St. Louis is going to pick up the win. Kevin Cobb might be out this week, a little inside scoop. And anyways, I wouldn't start him. But with Cobb out, you ready? Bench. I forgot his name.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Bench Larry Fitzgerald. Make sure you added that. Bench Larry Fitzgerald. Especially with Kevin Cobb. If he's out, Larry Fitzgerald's going to do nothing. And what's the matchup?
You sure?
What's the matchup?
Arizona at St. Louis.
St. Louis, unlike the Death Lords, play. Make sure you play Steven Jackson. I love Steven Jackson this week. Don't be like the Death Lords and leave him on your bench. Start Steven Jackson. Bradford might be come back. Stop Bradford and stop my boy Brandon Lloyd, who's been unbelievable since being traded from Oakland. Bet your daddy 62 Chevelle on it. What's next?
That's big right there. Green Bay at San Diego.
Green Bay at San Diego. Really? Are you kidding me? Green Bay is going to take this. San Diego's going downhill. Start Vincent Jackson. Phillip Rivers, bench him. Hard decision. I don't like him this week. But Green Bay,
Really?
he's just been struggling. He's been struggling. Antonio Gates, start Antonio Gates. Over in Green Bay, you got to start Adam Rodgers. Greg Jennings, start him. I think they're all going to have big games.
How about
Jermichael Finley.
Stocks?
Stocks, he could, I think Stocks could be a sleeper this week. I would start Stocks, especially with the injury in the running game in Green Bay. But I think Green Bay takes it.
Okay. Pittsburgh goes to Baltimore.
Pittsburgh is going to win that game. I would definitely start Roethlisberger, and that's about it. But I go with Pittsburgh.
All right. Philly at Chicago.
Philadelphia, Chicago. Philly is going to take that game. Chicago, the offense is just hurting down there.
Mike Vick's running like he's chasing a pit bull that lost.
I know. And they just said Michael Vick bought a parrot. Should that dude have any business buying any kind of pet? I mean, really? Stop Michael Vick. Stop Matt Forte. I think they're both going to have big games, but Philly takes it.
All right. And those are your picks. Sit 'em or start 'em by Big Kev.
And they are guaranteed.
And you could bet your mama's house on that. And a little message to the league. Nuno, we're going to keep it short and sweet. I can see a loss coming up for you, but don't get a little too
No, I don't hate you, bro.
No, just be
You're
more
my little
focused on
sidekick until you beat me.
Be a little more focused on your furniture. Let me tell you something. Once you come up Dartmouth again, a little surprise for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be no blowouts, no buys, no nothing. Shit, I'll buy a player. I don't usually go over $3, but if it's to beat you, I'll spend $5.
I would.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's on. You're calling him out. That's right.
But that's a tough division, but I got to give it good luck to everybody this week, man. I hope you all lose with me. But anyways, true story, though. What do you say, Kev?
Midget man, you should be glad you're at, what is he? 6-1.
6-1.
I mean, really, Nuno? 6-1. You know, the reason I talk smack is because I've eliminated you every playoff you've been in. So, even though this week, this year you might have a good chance at it. But like I said, it's not how you stat, buddy. It's how you finish. And that's just the way it goes. Good luck to everybody in the league.
Can't hate on good luck.
You know, if I could have one wish, I wish you all lose at the same time. And I'd be the only one to win in a perfect world. But it's not happening. But this has been Week 9 edition, Shotgun Sit Down.
Yep, KOK says...
Check the Kevtron. My new co-host, way better looking than my last. And hopefully the other one doesn't make it back. Like I said, he's in a contract dispute. He's talking about he wants every show, he wants a bowl of Skittles.
Yeah.
I mean, really? He wants a bowl? Are you kidding me, bro? A bowl of Skittles? So he wants all these things extra, and I don't know if production is going to give it to him. But this is Big Kev from the King of Kings Fantasy League.
And this is North Dartmouth Disciples. Shotgun Sit Down, signing off. Peace.